Welcome to another episode of All Aboard with Adam in New Jersey, Ned Snark here in South Florida. Adam's got the same coat hanging in his closet from the last week's show. At least Montante's not here with his shirt. I should get mine hung up too. And we'd like to start this commemorative episode as we enter into the summer season with an apology from my co-host.
Yes, I do owe a certain someone an apology. First of all, before I even get to that,
slow down.
That's just put there just because I want to block off my whiteboard for work. So I just don't need everyone in the metaverse to see all my work notes.
I like that.
Anyways, last night I was working late. I had a 10 p.m. call with Asia. I know you know exactly how that goes. Got to do them every once in a while. Sucks, but whatever. And I missed some messages from someone who has been really supportive of us, has come on here a few times at the drop of a hat. He wanted to have me come on to do an emergency podcast on his show about Barstool Idol. So, and by the time I got a hold of him, and by the time I realized it was just too late, so we didn't do it. So I do want to say a really big apology to Montante. Michael Montante. No. Michael Montante. I want to just apologize for missing that. So public. I apologize 1,000 times, as Dakota once said. And yeah. So I just I'm falling on my sword there, Ned.
Well, at 9:22, he came to me as well, but I was like, I don't even look at the phone after like that hour. So. I'm not in bed. I'm not asleep yet, but I'm definitely not like looking at the phone.
So he went to you first.
I'm reading a book.
Okay, so maybe my apology is not as sincere as it was.
I didn't mean
30 seconds ago.
I didn't mean to goy flex there, but I had to do it. You've been flexing all over the place.
Oh my god! Enough with that flexing shit.
Oh, I can't believe you actually denied that too.
I strongly deny that. But anyways, though, we are.
What do we got?
We're going to talk about Barstool Idol. You and I both have some strong thoughts about it. You and I have been watching intently. We've both been, I believe, talking also to Chris behind the scenes throughout the week as well. I mean, I guess I'm going to start with this. Ned, have you seen Barstool Idol before? Did you watch either of the two first seasons?
Dropped in, not really.
So should I explain to you very quickly what the biggest difference is between this year and the other two seasons?
Sure.
So the other two seasons were run like American Idol in the sense of in the very first episode, Cunt Marco was the MC. He was the Ryan Seacrest. And people came and they auditioned doing that sort of 3-minute, tell us everything about you, entertain us, grab us over a span of multiple days. And it was in front of 3 people. It was usually some combination of Dan, Dave, Erica, KFC, PFT, the main guys, right? And what then happened is once they selected their people, then they had them come back for a week of just challenges. So things like, make a video, write a blog, interact with be on other shows, things like that. So there was no like yak aspect to it where the whole thing is happening within the world of one specific show, which happens to be a kooky, crazy, look at us, we're the weird, cool guy type of show where they, spin the wheel or do weird shit like that. So I think first and foremost, I don't like the way that it is done this year. I feel like it was better in previous years when it was more focused on the challenges and it was more focused on, doing that thing. And it was just 3 judges as opposed to having 6 people who are all these weird, kooky guys. Like it just feels like it's a weird setup this year.
I felt that it was a bit stilted the way it was being run. Like you had the contestants, you had them do something, and then I can see why you get six judges, so you want to get their feedback on what they thought. But instead of going after getting immediately to a decision, they kind of played this hand, which is so boring and repetitive. Of then there's the next set of questions, like Big Head, what did you think about? He already went through his list of critiques, criticism, support, whatever. Just go ahead and vote. Yep. So I think it was a little too not structured, but it was too obvious what they were doing, and it was I didn't think it was that good. I watched it for Nadu and for Clemmer.
Oh, so I didn't watch it for Nadu. I watched it for Clemmer only. But I haven't really watched today. I've popped in and out. I actually think it's they're trying the way they're set up. They're set up in a way that 3 judges would have actually worked best.
Yeah,
But there's
you're
still
right.
but with 6, it's too many people. It's
Yep.
also getting tiring that every episode they're like, oh, and here's the twist. We're gonna have a twist this episode. So like
Yeah, that too, right? Yep.
for example, tonight the first person who gets eliminated is based on the votes of all the hosts of the shows that the contestants went on today. So again, it's just like it's a weird setup, but okay, whatever. Chris Klemmer, he's our guy. He was in it this week. What were your thoughts? Let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the very top here. We all heard Kirk's podcast. I think that I love Clemmer. He's our guy. I do think he could have done more for his initial episode 1 appearance, for his 3-minute tell me something.
Right.
But I'm curious what your thoughts are. What do you think? Did you like Texas Poop Hold'em? Have you ever played Texas Poop Hold'em?
Nope.
Should we play Texas Poop Hold'em?
Nope.
and just what are your thoughts in general? What do you think?
I thought he came off out of the gate rather slow and careful. He's a very nervous guy. He overthinks things. I've done a number of episodes with him, and his dedication and his intensity is always there. He doesn't take this as lightly as say you and I do. He'll do a number of takes to get a read the way he wants it, which is interesting. It was interesting to watch with the sausage being made, but he does not take it lightly. But I do think he got wrapped up too on under the pressure or on the pressure that was building. I just think as he went on, he got looser and looser and was better and better. So I feel really bad for him. I was rooting for him the whole time. I want nothing but success for him. I do hope that the
wait. We'll get to that. Let's take this day by day. Let's go from the very beginning.
Only
let's
2
move
days.
on. I know. So like let's go through all the segments with him, and we can talk about each of them. But yeah. So listen, I completely agree. I think that did you like the idea of him, if he had to pick one thing to be that one guy, do you like the idea that he came with of I'm the games guy, or do you think that there was a different way he could have gone? Like, I think that that's actually something that's unique that they don't have at Barstool.
Right. I didn't like it, but I can't fault him for that because I do think the games his games on Kirk show were pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he should have parlayed the baseball thing. That's pretty wild too. The 1995 Seattle Mariners is a great follow, and the times I've dropped in to watch him, it's great. It's very entertaining and enjoyable. I found myself laughing and interested.
But he couldn't do that because they said nothing that's previously been published.
I know. So he kind of got himself into a corner with what he's known for, what he could do. So can't be the movie guy, like for both reasons. Well, 2 reasons. One, it's already been published, and you got Jeff D. Lowe there, right? So he was in a tough spot in that regard.
Although you're right, he can't be the movie guy. But listen, I don't know anything about Barstool's actual audience or demographics. I have to assume though that its demographics have gotten somewhat older over the past few years.
100% agree.
And I'm curious if he could have made it as the classic movie guy. Not necessarily classic like Casablanca, but like what if he was the guy who, he really focused on cult classics, 70s, 80s movies. That is a little different than what Jeff D-Lo does. Jeff D-Lo is more contemporary. So, is there anything there that he could have done with movies? I mean, his brain when it comes to movies is just, I mean, it's remarkable.
No. Well, and under that premise, he could have also done the 1989 Baltimore Orioles. I mean,
yes.
Right. So I don't know. I think it's too broad of a category. Mm-hmm. He had to play the deck he was dealt, right?
Yeah.
And the games weren't bad. I just thought that Texas Poop Hold'em was not one of his better games.
I honestly think that he was playing to his crowd and to his audience. In all fairness, the Yak,
Ooh.
like those guys do so much. Like they are the poop joke people. Like they're the people who are going to make poop jokes. Right. That's who you do it with. So he probably did it and thought to himself, all right, this is a slam dunk. These guys like poop jokes. They were joking about making the contestants wear diapers this week. Like, okay, this is a slam dunk. So he makes it through. Big Cat admits that he skewed his vote on night 1 just to get him through because, whatever. Um, so
I did think though
let's
that he had I did think that the fact that he survived the spin, the
yeah.
spin game, I thought
Uh-huh.
that was a really good omen.
Yes.
I thought he would have gone. I really can't see him winning, but I did see him going down to the final, four. And when is the final decision? There's today, tomorrow, and then the
Tomorrow, I
decision's
think. Yeah,
Friday,
yeah, yeah.
right?
I think so.
I did see him going to tomorrow. In all
So,
honesty,
and by the way, breaking, we're recording Wednesday night. Um,
yeah. Oh, sorry.
so, so I will say though, I agree that I thought it was a good omen based on the people that are there. I mean, listen, not everyone, everyone, nobody ever really stood out in any of the previous Barstool Idols. There were moments when each of them, even the winners, everyone was like, "This guy isn't funny. This person isn't good." Blah 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 blah. Like it's hard in that sort of vacuum. That said, given who he was up against, I really did think there was a better than 50% chance that he could win.
Oh, did you? No,
I really did.
no,
Maybe I'm an idiot.
better than 50%.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Maybe I'm an
less
idiot.
than
I
50%.
really thought that he had
Maybe.
a chance. Oh, okay, fine. I am definitely an idiot. Also, definitely a drip. Um,
So
so let's talk about the basketball game. Let's talk about
yes,
Justin.
which
I
was
first and foremost the sprint
it was
and the
great.
run. I
I
mean,
didn't know he could move that fast.
holy shit!
Yep.
He moved. I mean, did you see the Sonic the Hedgehog clip that they put out?
Yes.
I mean,
But did you also see that someone? I wish I would have saved the tweet for this. I should have. Someone did the math on how fast he was traveling.
It was about 15 miles per hour.
15 and a half miles an hour.
Yep.
So
Yep.
great.
It was crazy how
Yep.
fast he just got the ball and sprinted down. I actually thought when I was watching, I was like, holy shit, he's going way too fast. He's going to run past the hoop. Like, there's no way he's going to make it.
But he was clever because I thought the same thing. He was going to try to do
Yep.
a single push-off foot layup and maybe miss it. Instead, he just kind of brought himself to a stop and just looped it in. I was like, beautiful.
Did you catch, by the way, because it took me quite a few viewings before I really caught it, his full celebration after he scored?
It did take, yes, I did.
The fist bump and then the tongue out was just awesome. So the basketball video started out with, I will say it was funny, Justin screaming at the top of his lungs, "Fuck you, Clemmer." Clearly, as you know, I mean, it's not hidden. They were quite transparent about it. Kirk sent Justin up to fuck with Chris to keep playing up the rivalry between Justin and Chris. I thought it was funny at first. I then thought it sort of got stale really quickly. I then thought that Justin brought it back a little bit with the when he said, "How about your audition?" as the as Chris's most embarrassing moment with the blog. But overall, I don't think I loved the Justin move. I'm curious what your thoughts are.
You're being
I'll give
generous.
some more.
It was a dumb move. And of course, Kirk cleared the way with headquarters to allow Justin in. He never should have been allowed in. I don't think he might work for the Kirk Minihane show, which is employed or carried on the Barstool network. But I think Kirk pays Justin out of his own pocket. So he had to clear the way to get him down there to get him involved, thinking it would make great content. I thought it looked terrible. The best thing I think someone put out there, upon looking back, Chris should have just left Justin wandering Western Massachusetts, and
which even Kirk retweeted.
Take his score. Yeah, absolutely. It was Chris handled it fine. Pretty much ignoring him. But I just thought it was uncalled for. I know you're right. It was mildly amusing, and I know people think people are people are actually pretty divided. Some people think it was great that Justin was there, and they were he's an animal. I thought it was petty and childish, and Mike's next. When Kirk turns on Mike's next.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like that super strong. The reason why I really didn't like it was because I felt like Justin could have done it in a funnier way. If he did it in a way that was funny, then it would have been great. In all fairness, it brings more attention to Chris.
Yep.
it gives him like, hey, I'm someone who's important enough to have a heckler here. Like that's a
Exactly.
pretty like that
Which is
could
how I
give
thought
him
it was
a
going to
solid
go.
boost.
Yep.
Right.
Nope.
But then when it got to the point where anytime Chris opened his mouth, he had to wait for Justin to speak first and yell something out, and then Justin, I will say it was funny for some of them, but then Justin getting into arguments with the judges,
right,
and just fighting with that. Like,
hold on, just so people at home are watching. We're on day 2 now.
We are on day 2.
Okay. I want to make sure I didn't step out
of the
line.
basketball game.
I thought that was way out. I mean, he went after the judges, and it's like it's not that. It's skate your lane, Justin.
Yep.
Do you need to take a break? Do we need to do a cut?
No, I don't know if it's the air conditioner or my daughter that keeps opening and closing my door, but it's fine. Don't worry about it.
There you go. Just mark that 15.
That's fine. It's fine. Just let it go. Well, I'll let it go. Who cares? No one's still listening at this point anyways.
I wasn't impressed. And the fact is that Justin realizes that, I think I might have said this before, but Kirk could be Hannibal Lecter and he could be Miggs, and he can talk Justin to killing himself.
Mm-hmm.
And Justin doesn't realize how dangerous his love for Kirk is, because it can turn, and Justin's already not stable, and it could end in a very bad place. So I think it went too far, I think.
I agree. And I think also, watching Chris's face throughout, the 1 p.m. Showing from the Yak, and then jumping ahead to the 6 p.m. showing, or the 7 p.m. last night when Chris was eliminated. I mean, you could see that it was starting to get to him. I actually, and this is no impact on, this is not anything negative on Chris or Chris's mental health, but one of the things that I've always seen the Barstool Idol competitors talking about for years past is just how stressful that 1 week of Barstool Idol is like. I mean, you're under the microscope. You're entering into a world where there's cameras everywhere. Like, you're not used to that, and you're just thrown into this reality show, and like, you're fighting for a job. I mean, this is what you want to do. So it really is a very high stress environment. And then on top of that, to have then Justin there, again, not doing it in a funny way, doing it in a just dumb sort of like just fully bland, I guess, way. It just constantly interrupting, constantly just swearing at and yelling at it. It felt like I really thought that the longer Chris was going to be in the show, the higher the chances were that he would have a mental breakdown.
Yeah. Well, I think he's tougher than that, but
for sure. But but again, like, you're in a very high stress environment, and you have this
correct
kid
just handle this incoming shrapnel. Yeah.
Right. Like, it just, at a certain point, it's just got to be done. And again, like, I don't fault Kirk necessarily for sending Justin. I fault more Justin for the execution, because it could have been funny. Maybe it's Kirk's fault for thinking that Justin would be able to make it funny, but it should have been done in a more humorous way. And I just feel like Chris didn't, or that Justin didn't do it.
Justin's not good on the road.
Yeah,
he's not good. He's whether it was Madawaska or his no show in Saco and now in New York, he should just really stay home.
Yeah, Did you read Chris's blog?
No, I didn't go that far.
Okay,
please.
So he was supposed to write about the most embarrassing moment, right? And this is again where, like, I'm gonna be critical of Chris. He wrote a story about how he got arrested for mistakenly having an expired license while doing road sales with his boss in the car.
Yeah.
And
good approach.
The end result of the story, though,
but embarrassing.
So here's the thing. But the end of the story was, I didn't get, like, my boss didn't fire me, didn't have any impact on his employment. I like the fact that Chris leaned into being the old guy. He was doing these sales was for the Yellow Pages. So he like made a comment about how, the Yellow Pages used to be this old thing, whatever. And how, he was the idiot who's going around telling people at 2003 that, Google was just a fad and it was never going to last and blah, 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 blah. So like there were moments there, but I felt like, no one's checking up on whether these stories are real. It was an embarrassing story, right, but there was no real conclusion to it. I would have loved to have seen him just go like full on just something. And again, this is just like when Kirk says he hates when people are like, oh, I could have gone that answer in trivia, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's so easy to do this as an armchair quarterback than
Yep.
on the spot. But like, to me, I was really, really hoping when I opened his blog that it would be some embarrassing story about Texas poop hold'em. Like just leaning into being the poop guy, leaning into the Texas poop hold'em thing. Like tell a story about this time when you were out on a date and you were playing Texas poop hold'em and you pooped your pants. Like something, I don't know, just like really leaning into it. So yeah, I mean, I would ask you if there was something else that you would have hoped for, but you weren't, but you didn't read it anyways.
No, I didn't go that far down the rabbit hole. I have work to do.
Are you going to keep watching Barstool Idol now, or are you done? No. Even with Nadu still in it?
Unless he gets kicked out maybe tonight. On Twitter highlights, but I'm not going to actually set aside. You know, it was on an hour ago, so I not no. So, right. But you know, I hope Jeff gets it. I don't think he needs it. He's already probably the most successful of all of them that are on there easily.
Yeah.
You know, it's got 100,000 plus or more downloads every episode of this podcast, which I listen to.
I don't know.
He's a lot shorter than I thought he was, though.
Oh, he's tiny. He's tiny.
I didn't realize it was that small.
I really don't. There was no one who stood out to me as someone who I would like to see win. Now, again, like, what the fuck do I know? I'm saying of the remaining 6.
Yeah, no.
I mean, again, what the fuck do I know? Like, I'm sure whoever they pick will be successful.
On the rare occasion, you and I are in an absolute lockstep. None of them were like,
like except for Nadu. Even Nadu to me, like he's not. A, I don't think he necessarily needs it, and B, he's not really like. What's he doing to show that he's that he should win? Like he hasn't he hasn't stepped up. He hasn't taken advantage of like all of his expertise and everything like that. So what's what are we doing here? It feels like
I think it's the Rico factor with Nadu, right? It's the idea that if he does get it, that Rico's going to quit. He's not going to be. They're not going to be able to tolerate each other in the same room. So I think that's a factor in why he's there. I'm wondering who encouraged him from Barstool to go ahead to go on and do that.
Sure.
You do, yeah,
for sure. Yeah. But like I don't know. It just it feels like it's a lost cause, and like I really when you said they do, I said under my breath I don't want him to win, but then like. Again, I don't know who the hell I want to win. Like that Luke guy, right? Like, okay, funny fat guy. All right, what's the difference between him, Frank, Doug's? Like, what are? Again, none of these people stand out to me as anyone worthwhile. And by the way, this could just be proof positive that I am way over the hill and that I'm just some old guy who has no idea what's in anymore. At the prime age of 37, I am way over the hill. But like, yeah, I don't see it. Do you have any closing thoughts on Barstool Idol, on anything else, on Kirk's episode of the emergency drop on Klemmer's video?
No, it was good, despite the bad connection. I guess Kirk was on his iPhone, I guess, and in a hotel somewhere. So. We have no idea where he is. It's going to be a long stretch. Well, we're already through the middle of the first week of a 2-week vacation, so glad he's taken off. But it's going to be a long stretch. Good chance to go back and listen to old episodes. Yeah,
and thankfully for the people, they have us to put out some content for them.
Yeah, sure. But, we got the warning, Menders is on his way, right? He's going to be here relatively soon. So,
oh, dear Lord.
It's coming. It's coming.
Hide your women, everyone. Hide your women. On that note.
Just put them above 5 feet.
There you go.
Be able to reach it.
On that note, Jesus Christ. On that note, we'll be back next week. Follow us at Twitter at allaboard_pod, at Snark Ned, at Adam in Jersey. We'll do better next week. Download, subscribe, like, all that stuff. Check out our RSS feed.
Abuse that like button.
Seriously, like
finger that like button.
Oh man, choo choo.
Choo choo.